Hello and welcome to jimmurphymp.com and my video blog online. And I only really want to talk about one subject today, which is the visit of His Holiness the Pope to Great Britain, to Scotland, to Edinburgh and to Glasgow. This is a really historic event. That word historic is totally overused in public life and in the media, but this is history in the making. Never before in the history of our country has a Pope officially been to Britain. Pope John Paul II in 1982, and many viewers of this blog will remember that day, because remember, 250,000 Scots, the biggest gathering of Scots in the history of our country. Never before have so many Scots been in one place in the entire history of our nation way back then in 1982. But that was an unofficial visit. It didn't have the same status as this visit, and this is a remarkable meeting, a remarkable visit. And it'll be kicked off by a really gracious meeting between Her Majesty the Queen and His Holiness Pope Benedict. That'll be in Edinburgh. And I'm lost for words when I think the fact that I've been invited along for that gathering, and we'll join the Queen and the Pope with others from across Britain to that reception. I'll then join the Mass in Benedict Park and then travel down to London on Friday to meet others, and to the speech by the Pope in Westminster Hall, which again has so much history, with the Pope actually speaking in the Palace of Westminster, and of all places Westminster Hall. So I think it's a remarkable few days, of course for the Catholic Church, of course for the whole of Scotland and the whole of Britain. And people who've been criticising this visit, and I know some people have been saying, why should the taxpayer pay for any of this visit? The fact is that the Pope's in a unique position. Yes, he's the head of one of the great faiths of our world, representing hundreds of millions of people across the world, but he's also the head of state, the Vatican State, and it's that dual purpose that he's here, and that's why it's a state visit. Now, it's right that the taxpayer pays some of the costs, that part of the visit that involves him here as a head of state. For those things like the event at Benedict Park, where it's an exclusively event organised by the Catholic Church, albeit some people from other faiths will be there quite rightly, is organised by the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church should pay those costs. I think that's a fair way of dividing up the costs, and I'm so looking forward to this visit. It was one of the most enjoyable moments in my time in politics, I think in my whole life, when I went to Rome to meet the Pope, to invite him to come to Scotland. It seems like only yesterday when myself and Cardinal O'Brien went there and met with the Pope and to talk to him, invite him to come to Scotland, and promise him a rapturous welcome here in Scotland. So, having played some small part in helping make this visit happen, I'm now looking forward to playing a tiny part as one of many thousands of people on the streets, at the Mass, and in celebration of this historic day, of time of reflection, a time to remember, a time to celebrate, and a time for Scotland to show itself as its best around the world, as a warm, friendly, welcoming, hospitable, open country. So enjoy the visit, enjoy the coverage. I'm not sure it's something we'll ever see again in our lifetime, an official visit by a Pope, albeit because this one's the first in history. I think it'll be a very long time before we see anything of this again. So let's enjoy the event.